The Democratic National Convention kicks off in Chicago as President Biden is among the names scheduled to speak tonight. And Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrives in Israel, preparing for what he calls a decisive moment in ceasefire talks. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Monday, August 19th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. The stage is set in Chicago this morning, where we'll see the start of the Democratic National Convention. It's a 4-day event that will end with Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz formally accepting the Democratic nominations for president and vice president. Harris arriving in Chicago on Sunday ahead of the start of the DNC. Part of the agenda for day one, special tributes are planned to honor tonight's headline speaker, President Joe Biden. Tonight, you can expect to also see former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Other speakers you'll see over the next few days include former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and former First Lady Michelle Obama are also slated speakers. The city's mayor says Chicago is prepared and ready, beefing up security inside and outside the convention, with thousands of Gaza war protesters planning to descend on the city over the next few days. The Democratic Party has released some of its key policy points it expects to address over the next 4 days. That includes raising the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, making the child tax credit permanent, and IVF and abortion protections. A snapshot of the campaign trail. Harris and Walz spent time in the battleground state of Pennsylvania before Harris's arrival in Chicago. Former President Trump will be back in Pennsylvania today after also spending time over the weekend in the Keystone State. A new ABC poll has Harris leading Trump overall 50 to 45%, but Trump is leading Harris on key issues for voters. More people saying they trust Trump over Harris on handling the border and economy. Former Republican Congressman George Santos is expected to plead guilty to federal charges in a New York courtroom this afternoon, a reversal of his previous plea of not guilty. Santos, who was expelled from the House of Representatives, faces 23 felony charges, including defrauding donors, lying about his finances, and needlessly accepting unemployment benefits, among other things. A guilty plea would avoid a trial, which is scheduled to begin next month. Sources close to the matter say during today's hearing, Santos is expected to give a statement acknowledging the crimes he has agreed to plead to. To the war in the Middle East, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel today, meeting with top Israeli officials before traveling to Egypt for ongoing negotiations to reach a ceasefire and hostage release agreement. This is his 9th trip to the region since the war first began, telling the media at a press event in Tel Aviv this is their best and perhaps last chance at reaching a deal.
This is a decisive moment, probably the best, maybe the last opportunity to get the hostages home, to get a ceasefire, and to put everyone on a better path to enduring peace and security.
Netanyahu's office has expressed cautious optimism that a deal can be reached, but Hamas is accusing Israel of stalling efforts to reach a deal in order to continue striking inside Gaza. Israel is still bracing for a potential attack by Iran, adding more pressure for a compromise at the negotiation table. A new Biden administration policy will allow some spouses of U.S. citizens who do not have legal permission to stay in the U.S. to legalize their status without having to leave the country. That initiative starts today. It's known as Parole in Place, the new policy allowing migrant spouses to apply for a green card and eventually get on a path to citizenship. To be eligible, they must have been continuously in the U.S. for at least 10 years, not pose a security threat, or have a disqualifying criminal history, and have been married to a U.S. citizen before June 17th, the day before the program was announced. They must also pay a $580 fee to apply and fill out an application explaining why they deserve humanitarian parole and providing a list of supporting documents proving how long they have been in the country. The Biden administration says about 500,000 people could be eligible for parole in place, plus about 50,000 of their children. Egg prices are on the rise again. According to the Consumer Price Index, egg prices were up by nearly 20% in July, and economists say inflation is not the issue this time. Rather, it's believed to be the ongoing bird flu outbreak limiting the supply of eggs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the average rate for a dozen large grade A eggs topped $3 in July for the first time in more than a year. July also marked the third month egg prices rose on an annual basis, a 180 after a year of relative decreases. Finally, this morning, we have some more important consumer news that may affect your meal planning today. Purdue Farms is recalling over 167,000 pounds of its frozen chicken products. Here's what you need to know. The company has voluntarily recalled the items after a foreign material identified as a thin strand of metal wire was found in some packages. The products are the Purdue Simply Smart Organic Gluten-Free Breaded Chicken Breast Nuggets, the Breaded Chicken Breast Tenders, and the Butcher Box Organic Free Fully Frozen Cooked Breast Chicken Nuggets. All have a best if used by date of March 23rd of 2025. Purdue says no illnesses have been reported, and the recall was issued out of an abundance of caution. These are your top stories for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.